Wendy Rainey started her journalism career in 1998 as a reporter for the Great Falls Tribune in Great Falls, Montana. Rainey would continue to be a reporter and freelance journalist until she arrived in Pullman, Washington. Rainey moved to Pullman, Washington once her husband had gotten a job at Washington State University, and she was looking for a job as a freelance reporter. Rainey was looking through the list of staff members at WSU to see if there was anyone she knew, and she happened to see a familiar name.
Ben Shores, department chair, and I were co-workers briefly. He was an intern at the Great Falls Tribune. And so I called him up and asked if, I could pick his brain for opportunities to freelance. And the department chair at the time walked by. Ben introduced us and he said, "You never covered sports by any chance, did you?" And I said, "As a matter of fact, I did." And I don't know, a few weeks later, I was teaching sports journalism.
Once Rainey got her foot in the door with the sports journalism program, she decided to branch into the foundational journalism program taught at Murrow and Com 300. Rainey started to teach Com 300 in the fall of 2019, only teaching one session at first. Rainey taught much more once classes went remote in spring of 2020 due to the main professor for Com 300 retiring. When Rainey arrived at Com 300, there was quite the negative aura surrounding it.
I think there was, over time, a real sort of ominous culture had developed around it. And it's a rigorous class and it's demanding and it's really necessary to master the skills in it before you move on in Murrow to be really the most successful you can be. But I don't think that has to be surrounded by sort of this dark cloud of pressure and negativity. I think that you can still have a little bit of fun in class and you can still have some camaraderie and good-natured conversations, and that just did not exist.
However, Rainey feels that in the year she has taught the class, the rigorous work the class is known for is still present, but that negative aura has started to go away.
I think so. I think so. The rigor is still there. I mean, there's the penalty for factual errors is still significant. And, if you make too many of them, you're definitely going to have to repeat the class. But you have to learn that it's really critical that you get things right. And, things live forever on the internet. If you get it wrong, it's there forever. So it's important that we get the facts right. And that's, one of the emphasis of that class. So the rigor and the intensity is still there, but the culture around that can be more positive and more supportive, I think.
Earlier this month, according to a Murrow College of Communication report, Rainey was admitted to the WSU President's Teaching Academy, being only one of two Murrow members selected for this achievement. Rainey said she has suffered with imposter syndrome for a long time, as prior to this job, she was only a journalist and had no experience in education or teaching of any kind. Rainey said she was excited when she first heard she was nominated and felt that this was the recognition she needed.
It feels like recognition that I have something to bring to academia, that there's something that I'm doing here that I can share with others that might help advance their teaching, but I also have the opportunity to learn from some people who did come up through the ranks in academia, who do know how to maybe craft assignments better or make better syllabi and things like that. So I feel like it validated me a little bit in that maybe the things I'm doing are good, but it also is going to give me an opportunity to improve and be better.
Rainey's co-worker, Jeremy Watson, had nothing but great things to say when speaking about Rainey and why she was an ideal candidate for the admission to the Teaching Academy.
She really, the learning, the classroom learning and everything is important, but she really takes an interest in student success, outside the classroom as well, kind of, and really follows through with, making sure they're set up for not just passing classes and moving on to the next class and everything else, but really setting them up for a career and success beyond graduation.